Okay, listen this.
And, I was going back and forth with people on Twitter today about it, and I think the most important thing about these 5 traits is understanding what are your most dominant traits. Are you optimizing your time to spend time on things that lean into those strengths or that allow you to flex those strengths?
So the other day I was listening to some podcasts, as I do, being one of the co-founders at Listen, the greatest podcast app
in the world.
Specifically, I was listening to The Founder's Journal by Alex Liberman. If you don't know who he is, he founded Morning Brew, a pretty excellent email newsletter, which I'm not normally a fan of, but this one's pretty sick. Anyways, so he dropped this podcast episode called The 5 Traits of Employees, which is one of those episodes I think every new founder should listen to. So buckle up. Let's go over these. First, we got the thinker. Who's gonna come up with the next big ideas? Next, the planner. What needs to happen in the next 1, 3, 6, 9 months?
I don't even believe you have a plan. I have part of a plan.
The seller. You need people to fall in love with what you're doing. The builder. Because you can't sell nothing, so you're gonna need someone to build some freaking product. Finally, the scaler. Well, now that you've got a product, you need someone to grow it exponentially. Sorry, I had to loosen this a little bit. You never want to be too buckled up, you know what I'm saying? Okay, so there's 2 main reasons why these traits are so important. Number 1, as a founder, you want to optimize your time, ideally only doing tasks that allow you to flex your strengths. Number 2, as you continue to grow your business, you'll start to understand which part of the life cycle you're in, and therefore giving you a much clearer idea of who you need to hire for your team. A fat mistake we made at the beginning a lot is onboarding new guys and not having a clear idea of what we need them to get done and what their strengths are, which wastes both people's times. Not sick. Alex's kind of rule of thumb for these is that you really only want to have 1 trait that you're absolutely dominant in, and then maybe a secondary one to balance yourself out. If you start thinking that you're 3, 4, maybe all of these, then you really haven't spent enough time building out one. So you're probably thinking, bruh, I work at a freaking startup. In the early days, by definition, you need to be working on a little bit of everything. So how much time do I spend on my non-dominant traits? Answer, check this out.
People will ask, how much time should you spend on the dominance? And how much time should you spend on the non-dominance? And my view is you should spend as little time as humanly possible on your non-dominance. So for me, that is everything other than selling and thinking.
As little time as humanly possible. You only want to spend enough time on your non-dominant tasks so those tasks don't become blockers for the work you're really good at. Get it? Does it make sense? Is this the end all be all? No. There could be more traits, there could be different traits. This is Alex Liberman's opinion based on his experience. And it was the first time I heard anything like this. Helped me gain a better understanding of what work I should be focusing on and what work we should be getting people to help us with. It's a great little starting point. Anyway, go listen to his podcast. They're short, they're sweet, they're great. And listen to them on Listen, because it's the greatest podcast app in the world. Let me know what traits you think you are. If you think there's more traits, that could be fun. Don't you like having fun? Don't you?
Like having fun?
That's all I got.
I got no drip in my pocket. Must have forgot it, or maybe I already